Well, hello there, my loves. How are you today? I hope you're really, really good. Today's How Can I Help You Today video comes in response to a question that I received on Instagram from a beautiful woman called Dania. Now, Dania writes, I have some entrepreneur ventures that I'm working to bring to fruition, but a lot of hesitancy to take leaps necessary due to the fact that I feel underqualified. How do I move past the feeling of not being good enough? Girl, first of all, I want to say thank you for asking such a freaking awesome question. This is something that so many people experience, not taking the leap because they don't feel good enough. And again, something personally that I have got experience of experiencing. So thank you for being brave enough to ask the question first of all, and of course I can offer some suggestions, some advice on what you can do. Now, the first thing that I want to say is that you are incredible, okay? I've seen some of the stuff that you're putting out there on Instagram, and I absolutely love your work. I love your energy, I love your vibe. I think you're an incredible human being. You're so beautiful and so talented, and granted, I don't yet know all of the details about the ventures that you are planning on embarking on, but what I do know is that you are a superpower. You are absolutely amazing, and whatever it is that you are feeling called to do, whatever it is that you feel that you were put on this earth to do, it's time to kind of just step into that greatness now. You see, so many people fall into this erroneous sense of belief or have this understanding that we need to see the entire staircase mapped out before us before we take action. So not true, okay? What all you need to do is to keep taking the next logical step, and then the next logical step, and then the next logical step. And the more steps you keep taking, the more of that staircase will become clear. All you really need to see is the step in front of you, and keep taking it and keep trusting that you will be able to do, that you will be led, you will be guided to taking the next logical step, okay? So that is the first thing that I want to say. The other thing that I want to say is that you are unique in whatever it is that you bring to this planet, whatever it is that you feel that you are put here to do. There isn't anybody else that is you. There isn't anybody else that has your gifts, your abilities, your talents, your expertise, your life experience that have led you to this point where you now feel that you're ready to start taking those steps. Nobody else is you, and that is your superpower. So you need to remember those things. You need to remember that there are people out there who are your people. There are people out there that need to hear what you've got to say. There are people out there that need to be helped and supported by you in whatever capacity it is that you're planning on helping, supporting, or whatever ventures it is that you're planning on embarking on. There are people out there that need you, okay? So you need to really be bearing all of that in mind, as well as you're wanting to do this, you're wanting to go out and help people or to embark on these ventures that you're planning on embarking on. There are people that need you to step up and start doing that because they're waiting for you to step into your greatness. So go do it. Now, because of how, I guess, multifaceted, how many different dimensions there are to an answer to a question of this kind, I've written down a few notes because I want to make sure that I incorporate and include everything that I've decided that I want to say in this video. So if you see me looking down, I'm just taking a look at my notes to kind of jog my inspiration and make sure that I cover everything that I want to cover. So number one is that I would say have a clear representation of what it is that you want to achieve. What is the goal? You know, I've spoken about goals in a number of my videos, but and the reason for that is that it is so important. Yes, we're talking about your ability to overcome the feelings of not feeling good enough, but in order to have, some confidence in what it is that you're wanting to do, having a clearly defined outcome of what it is that you're doing, where it is that you're going, what it is that you're striving for is something that I think is really, really important. So to give you the confidence that you can do it, to give you the confidence to help you to see that there are steps, incremental milestones and incremental steps that you can be taking in order to get to where it is that you want to be. That will give you confidence in knowing that there's a plan that you're going to be following. So that's number one. If you haven't already watched my video number 3, then do go back and watch that. Now the full version isn't available on Instagram, unfortunately, because you can only do a 60-second video, but you watch it on my YouTube channel, the video is there, number 3, so that gives you some idea of how to set out your goal. And then there are other videos that you can watch in terms of helping you to get a clearly defined representation of what it is that you're planning on doing. Video number 4 as well, and I think maybe another one, but I can't remember the number of it off the top of my head. If I remember it, I'll leave the number of it in the comments below, okay? So what I want you to also do is to consider who you will be in this life that you have when you've actually achieved what you're setting out to do. And this comes back to video number 4. That gives you a really good basis for defining that. Who is it that you want to be? What is it that you are going to be doing? And who will you be doing it with? Now, if you go back and watch video number 4, like I said, it provides you with a step-by-step exercise of what you can do to help you to embark on that again. What that's going to do is to give you some confidence, to help you to see that it's something that you can be doing. But in addition to that, what it will be doing is helping you perhaps to identify whether there are additional resources that you need to get to a place of feeling like you're ready to take the next step, like you're ready to take that leap. So what are the resources that you think that perhaps you need, and then start to go about getting them. This feeling of not being good enough, is that as a result of other underlying issues, or is it because there are resources that you need to acquire in order for you to feel confident in your ability to do whatever it is that you are planning on doing? Okay, so make some plans. What resources do you need, and do you have those resources? If you don't have them, can you find them? What is it that you need to do? What education do you need to do a course? What is it that you need to do? Or is it just that you've got all the information that you need, you've got all of the knowledge, you've got all the know-how, but it's just this feeling of not being good enough? Because those are two different things, those are two different issues that would potentially need to be addressed, okay? Now, here's where it gets a little bit invasive perhaps, okay? But hey, you know, we're here to do good work, so just do it. Now, question that I would ask you, coming back to the point that I just made, is where does this feeling of not good enough come from? You know, what is that all about? Is that as a result of the things that you're telling yourself? And are those things that you're telling yourself as a result of experiences that you've had? Because if it is as a result of experiences that you've had, it's about going back and cleaning up some of that past, going back and healing those wounds. And if that can be done simply by reframing your thinking, by challenging your thinking, by using the technique that I spoke about, I believe it was in video number 2, about challenging your thinking. You know, when you get a feeling or a thought of I'm not good enough, can you find some evidence to support that? Or, to the contrary, can you find evidence that negates that thought? And if there is evidence to negate the thought, then replace that negative thought, replace that I'm not good enough thought with some positive information that you can feed yourself instead. What can you be telling yourself? What reassurances can you give yourself that are opposite to not being good enough? What can you feed your mind to tell yourself and prove yourself that you are good enough, that you are worthy, that you are deserving, that you can do this, that you are good enough to do it, and that you've got all of the things that you need to get, if you have got all of those things. If you haven't, then it's about addressing that, whatever is lacking there, and doing something about that as well, okay? So, what is it that you're not good enough to do? Is it that you're not good enough to help people? Do you believe that what you have to offer is going to help whoever it is that you're planning on helping? Do you believe that you can be successful in this venture? Do you believe that what you're offering is going to be of value to people? Have you done it before? Have you, practiced? Have you utilised your skills? Have you utilised your expertise and supported people in whatever capacity? Have you used this? Have you practiced it? Is it a skill that you've practiced and that you know is going to help people? Because if it is, it's time to take the leap, right? It's time to take that leap and just do it. Because if you believe that it is, and that you are good enough, and you believe that what you're offering is good enough, what are you waiting for? Okay, like I said, we don't need to know all the steps. We don't need to know exactly how we're going to get there. But your people are waiting for you, and they need you to step into your greatness. So, like I said, you need to challenge that voice. You need to challenge that perception that you have of not being good enough. And what I would question again is, are you going to continue to allow this perception that you have of yourself, wherever that's coming from, and perhaps, like I said, go back and identify where that is coming from, but are you going to continue to allow that perception of yourself to limit your life? Are you going to continue to allow it to limit the people who you are planning on helping? Like I said, they need you, okay? So are you going to allow that to stop you from taking these necessary leaps, or are you going to challenge it? Are you going to go back and do the work to undo whatever wounds there are that need to be healed, and actually start putting the steps in place, taking action and moving forward on these ventures? Because from the sounds of things, you're ready. It's just about perhaps doing some work behind that, okay? So, because the alternative is that at the age of 95, you'll live to, a long, ripe old age of 95, if not older, and you look back at your life and you say to yourself, well, I wish I'd done that, but I didn't. So it's about really owning that, because there are no good reasons to not have the life that you want. Okay, my camera stopped recording because it can only record for a certain amount of time. So I'm going to carry on because I want to make sure that I say everything that I wanted to say in this video. So, realistically, it's about when you come to the end of your life and look back at the things that you perhaps wanted to achieve but didn't, will that be satisfying? Because in my model of the world, nothing, no reasons, no excuses, no limitations are going to be satisfying enough for you not having done and achieved the things that you know that you want to do. So, do them instead. Do them, try it, practice. Don't try it, in fact, just do it. Okay, because ultimately, you have to fail forward, you have to try, you have to do something, and if it doesn't work, you make tweaks. If it isn't what you want it to be, if it isn't how you want it to turn out, you make tweaks and you fine tune, you keep going, it's a journey. We think that we have to get it perfect and get it right the first time. We don't. We just have to keep doing it. If you want to be successful, if you want to have the life that you feel that you want to have, then you just have to keep doing it. You have to just keep stepping out of your comfort zone and just keep doing it. That's all. It really is as simple as that. Now, if we were working together one-to-one, I would be doing some timeline therapy work with you, I'd be doing some hypnotherapy work with you to basically completely eradicate those limiting beliefs, that belief of you not feeling good enough. Because I want you to make sure that you are going to not allow that belief to stop you from getting to where you want to be in your life. But the only person that can do that at the end of the day is you. There is work to be done perhaps around releasing that belief that you have, but do the work and you'll be successful. It's something, this feeling of not being good enough is something that limits so many people, stops so many people from stepping into their greatness, and what you find is that you'll learn everything that you need to learn along the way. So I would urge you to really, look at where it is that there is that, where is that limitation coming from, where is that belief coming from, and do some work around that. Okay, so like I said, your people need you. You need to step up and step into your greatness. And the one question that I want to leave you with is this: are you good enough to step up and step into this belief that you have the ability to help the people that you want to help, and to be good enough to do that every day? Do you believe that you are good enough to help the people that you want to help? believing that you can help them, and know that what you're offering is of value. So I want you to consider all of those things, and I really, really wish you so much joy on this journey. There will be down times, there will be up times, there will be times when you don't know what you're doing and you're not sure about what step to take next, but you just keep going. You just have to keep going. You can't stop. When you've got a passion that burns inside you, when you've got fire inside of you that needs to come out and that the world needs to see, you just need to do it. Just take the leap. Find your wings on the way down. Take the leap, and I am certain that you will be fabulous, okay? I'm so excited for you. I'm looking forward to watching your journey unfold, and I can't wait to witness it. Okay, so I'm hoping that this has helped. I would love to find out, love to hear some feedback, some comments, questions about anything further that I can expand on, and let me know in the comments. Get in touch with me privately, whatever the case may be. And I look forward to making another video on this or another topic really, really soon. Okay, bye for now.